All right, and we are back here on the GSMC football podcast. And for the third part of the show, we're going to talk about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. We'll talk about some comments made by Tom Brady on Peyton Manning at his Patriots Hall of Fame induction, calling Peyton Manning the gold standard when it comes to the quarterback position. So this is what he had to say. And I know I talked about Brady's Hall of Fame induction on a previous show. I think it was, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago, around there. But this was something that came up that I wanted to touch upon. So he said, I think that I could never have been the type of player that I was without having someone like Peyton that I had to aspire to be like. And I looked at him as the gold standard for quarterback play, and I still do. And Peyton Manning said, talking about the fans in Boston, they liked me here because I always lost here. I'm much more popular than Eli here, I promise you that. But no, absolutely, you knew when you were playing against the Tom Brady team, you better be at your best because if you weren't, Tom Brady was going to beat you every time. And Peyton said, I'm honored to be here tonight talking about the ceremony, and I promise I'll be there in a couple years when he is there in Canton as well. I mean, both of these guys have a lot of respect for each other. And, Peyton Manning, came into the league a little bit before Brady. And I believe the first matchup they won. The first matchup they won against each other, Brady won. Well, Brady went 11-5 against Peyton. Now Peyton has a record of 3-1, I believe, in the AFC Championship games that they played against each other. I think 3-2 is the overall playoff record. But yeah, I mean Brady won a lot more in the regular season. But yeah, that is one of the best rivalries in all of sports is these two guys. And they got a lot of respect for each other. And you definitely do miss seeing them go at it year in and year out because, I mean, that was once in a lifetime thing. Now, I didn't really see all of their matchups because, I didn't really start watching football. Well, when they started playing against each other, I was an infant. Towards the end of their careers, that was when I was, watching. And, I got to see the AFC Championship games that they played. Well, mostly when Peyton was in Denver. Because again, that's, it was my prime years of watching football. Well, these are still my prime years, but, saw that. Of course, saw the matchup when the Broncos were up 24-0, and the Patriots came back and won that. But yeah, this was a great rivalry. And again, the admiration that these two have for each other is unbelievable. They speak very highly of each other. And I don't know if I brought this up when I was talking about Brady's Hall of Fame induction with the Patriots, but they brought up how they had this private event, this private workout where they got, I think, high school receivers to work out with them, and they would have them run routes, and they were doing that together. And they said, do not tell the media or anybody that we did this, that we're friends. They didn't want the media knowing that they were hanging out together in the off season. So I thought that was funny, that something that they brought up. But like I said, I mean it was a once in a lifetime thing, and they were the top quarterbacks for a long time. You had other guys in there like Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees as well during that era, which I mean is nothing's ever going to top that. I mean, I know what Patrick Mahomes is doing is unbelievable, but I think part of it's a nostalgia factor as to why it's nothing's ever going to top this era, because we do have some pretty good quarterbacks that we're seeing right now. They may be more talented, but in terms of accolades, I mean, again, take Mahomes out of it for a second, but I don't know. Some of these guys, are they gonna win multiple championships like Brady and Manning did? I know that Peyton's second Super Bowl, that was on the backs of the Broncos defense, but still, he was a part of it. He got a second ring out of it, but some of these guys may be more talented. than Brady and Manning. But are they going to win championships? I don't know. Now, part of that does have to do with Patrick Mahomes, but that's what I wanted to talk about though. Is what's like the next Manning Brady rivalry in this era? Because some people at one point it was it's Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, then it was Mahomes and Josh Allen, then it's Mahomes and Joe Burrow. But it's not really the same because it's kind of one-sided. Now, Joe Burrow has a winning record against Patrick Mahomes, but Joe Burrow doesn't have any Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes right now has 3. So one of these guys is going to have to step up and maybe win a championship, because since Patrick Mahomes has come into the league and since he became the starter, like let's take 2017 out. 2018, Brady wins. Mahomes wins in 19. Brady wins in 2020. 2021, the Rams win. Stafford gets his first ring. And then back-to-back championships for the Chiefs. So, there's no... Now, Joe Burrow played in a Super Bowl, but he didn't win it. So who is going to be the guy... I mean, right now I think it is Joe Burrow just because he's beaten Patrick Mahomes in a championship game and he's gotten to a Super Bowl. But one of these guys is going to have to win it. And I don't know who it's going to be. Who is going to be the team that knocks off the Chiefs? I don't know. We're going to have to find out if a team does that this season. But that's what I would probably lean towards. I'd probably lean towards it being Burrow and Mahomes. But I don't know. But that just goes to show you this was a once-in-a-lifetime thing between Brady and Manning. And again, Brady went 11-5 against him, but they did have some classic matchups. I mean, you had the Colts coming back against the Patriots in the championship game, and like I said, the regular season matchup when the Patriots were down 24-0, they came back. That 2015 AFC Championship game got dicey at the end. Brady converts that 4th down to Gronkowski. That was actually on NFL Network recently. So it was a once in a lifetime thing. But yeah, that was on recently. Then they got the touchdown, and then they didn't get the 2-point conversion that got intercepted. And yeah. It just that was the last matchup. Was that AFC Championship game, and obviously Brady went on and played for almost another decade. But yeah, it just it's something that football does miss. So I mean, again, there's a few candidates because right now it's Patrick Mahomes and then it's a few other guys, but we got to see. Or maybe it's Patrick Mahomes and C.J. Stroud. They haven't played yet. No, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Because again, the years that Patrick Mahomes didn't win, it was guys from the last era. Brady, of course, 2 rings, and then you had Stafford. So, we'll see what team can knock off the Chiefs, like I said. But it's going to be tough. So, but I mean that's really my thoughts. So let me know what you guys think about that though. What's the next Manning Brady rivalry? Is it Burrow and Mahomes? Because I mean I think that's probably what you would lean towards, just because Joe Burrow was able to beat Patrick Mahomes in a championship game. Josh Allen hasn't. Josh Allen is 0-3 against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson just lost to him recently in the championship game. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. But, yeah, that's I just wanted to touch upon that. The Tom Brady, praising Peyton Manning calling him the gold standard. Because, I mean, you're not going to see Tom Brady call himself, the greatest of all time. Because I don't even think he likes people saying that. He's going to say, "Oh, you had Peyton," and it's just he's never going to call himself that, even though he probably, thinks about that to himself. But I don't know. Has he ever called himself the GOAT? I don't think he has, at least publicly. But I mean, I guess maybe at the roast. But that was a unique thing that they had. But yeah, that's really my my thoughts on all that. Let me know what you guys think. What was your favorite moment from the Brady Manning rivalry? Because it went on for a long time, and I think the game does miss it. We're kind of looking for that next rivalry. I mean, like I said, there's some candidates, but I don't think anything's really, going to come close to living up to this. But only time will tell. So we're going to take our next break on the show here, and then when we come back, we'll talk about Breece Hall of the New York Jets, talk about some recent comments that he had, and just kind of my expectations for him this season for the Jets. So we will get into that when we come back. So stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.